Did you know the final 30 seconds before you walk out your front door can decide whether your reptile spends the day in a relaxed, regulated state or stuck in a low-grade stress response that chips away at their health over time? It sounds dramatic, but many well-meaning keepers accidentally disrupt their reptile's sense of security just by the way they leave. And when a reptile's nervous system stays on alert, it often shows up as hiding for days, refusing food, glass surfing, or abnormal color changes. You might not even connect to stress. Research in reptile behavior and herpetology suggests that cold-blooded animals are far more sensitive to environmental and routine disruptions than most people realize. So today on the Reptile Lab, I am going to walk you through 5 science-backed steps you can do in under a minute to set your reptile up for a calm, safe day before anxiety even starts. And do not miss number 5, because it is the most common mistake busy keepers make, and fixing it can completely change how secure your reptile feels while you are away. Welcome to the Reptile Lab, your home for understanding the hidden behaviors and biology of the reptiles in your life. If you want science-backed guides that help you build a deeper, calmer relationship with your animal, consider subscribing. Step 1. The still presence check. Here is what most keepers do wrong right before leaving. They rush, they tap the glass, lift the lid quickly, hover over the enclosure to do a fast visual check, and then dash out. But in reptile psychology, sudden overhead movement is one of the most universal stress triggers there is. It mimics a predator. Even a well-socialized bearded dragon or a calm ball python registers that fast top-down approach as a potential threat, and it can leave their nervous system primed for hours. Studies in reptile stress physiology show that elevated corticosterone, the reptile stress hormone, can persist long after the triggering event, suppressing immune function, digestion, and appetite. You leave, but the hormonal echo of your rushed exit stays behind. Think of this like a quiet psychological signal that tells your reptile, nothing is wrong, no predator passed through, the environment is safe. What to do? In the last 30 seconds before you leave, position yourself beside the enclosure, not looming over it, and simply be still for a moment. Let your reptile see you at eye level without any fast motion. If they are basking and relaxed, great. If they are alert and watching you, wait until you see their posture soften slightly before you step away. Then move away slowly, without sudden gestures. And calm, still presence check. That is it. Quick question. Does your reptile flatten, puff up, or bolt to hide when you approach the tank too quickly? That is not attitude, that is a hardwired predator response. And you can start changing that signal today. Step 2. Verify the thermal environment before you go next mistake. Keepers assume that because they set up the temperature gradient last week, everything is still dialed in. But reptiles are ectotherms. They rely entirely on external heat sources to regulate their body temperature, metabolism, immune response, and stress tolerance. A bulb that dims slightly overnight, a thermostat probe that shifted, or a hide sitting half an inch off from its usual spot can leave your reptile thermally stranded for 8 hours while you are gone. Research on reptile welfare consistently shows that inadequate thermoregulation is one of the leading contributors to chronic low-grade stress in captive reptiles. A cold reptile is not just uncomfortable, they are physiologically compromised, and their ability to cope with any other stressor drops significantly. Think of it like leaving a person in a room where the heating and cooling system is broken. They can survive it, but they cannot thrive in it, and every small irritation hits harder. What to do? Spend 30 seconds doing a quick thermal check before you leave. Glance at your thermostat reading, use your temperature gun to spot check the basking spot and cool side, and confirm the hide is positioned correctly. If something is off, fix it now. Do not assume it will be fine. This single habit, a 30-second thermal sweep, is one of the most meaningful things you can do for your reptile's daily well-being. So far, you have done 2 things. You approached calmly without triggering a threat response, and you confirmed their thermal environment is stable. That combination sets a solid foundation for a stress-free day. Step 3. The boring exit strategy. Now, this is where most keepers sabotage everything, and ironically, it comes from caring too much. They tap the glass one more time. They talk to their gecko. They lift the lid to give a quick goodbye touch. Every interaction right before leaving is another environmental disruption that signals to the reptile. Something is happening, something is changing, stay alert. Unlike dogs, reptiles do not bond to owners through social cues the same way, but they absolutely track routine and environmental consistency. Predictability is safety for a reptile. Unpredictability is stress. Animal behavior researchers studying captive reptiles have noted that animals with consistent, low-disruption keeper routines measurably lower baseline stress indicators than those in environments with erratic human interaction patterns. Think of it like dimming a light slowly instead of cutting the power suddenly. You want your exit to feel like nothing happened at all. What to do? Make your last minutes at home boring. No extra tapping, no lifting lids, no lingering by the enclosure. If you have already done your feeding and maintenance for the day, leave those alone. Walk past the enclosure at a normal pace, avoid eye contact with the animal, and simply go. No production. No goodbye ritual. The goal is for your reptile to barely register that you left. Have you ever noticed your reptile seems more skittish on days when your schedule is chaotic? That is not a coincidence. They are picking up on the disruption in routine, not just the loud noises. Hey, what is your reptile species? Drop it in the comments below. It helps me tailor guides to the actual animals you are keeping. Step 4. A scent-based security anchor. Here is a powerful step most keepers completely overlook, and it surprises people every time. Reptiles have a highly developed chemosensory system. Many species use their Jacobson's organ, accessed through tongue flicking, to constantly sample their environment for chemical information. That information tells them whether the space they are in is familiar, safe, and theirs. When keepers deep clean an enclosure right before leaving, scrubbing decor, replacing substrate, wiping down surfaces, they unintentionally strip out all of that chemical familiarity. The reptile wakes up in what chemically smells like a foreign environment. Studies on reptile habitat familiarity and stress suggest that animals in chemically unfamiliar environments show significantly elevated vigilance behaviors and reduced feeding responses. It is like rearranging every piece of furniture in someone's home while they slept. The structure is the same, but nothing feels right. What to do? If you are doing any cleaning or maintenance before you leave, avoid doing a full reset. Spot clean rather than deep clean on days you will be away for long periods. Retain a piece of established decor, a hid, a branch, a rock that carries the animal's scent and has not been scrubbed. That familiar chemical anchor helps your reptile's brain confirm, this is my space, I am safe here. One unchanged scent item in their primary hide location can make a real difference, especially for newly acquired animals or more nervous species. At this point, you have given your reptile a calm approach, a thermally stable environment, a low disruption exit, and a scent-anchored familiar space. You are building a daily safety net, one that tells your animal's nervous system that nothing has gone wrong. Step 5. Control the acoustic environment. This is the most overlooked step, and it is the one I see keepers get wrong most consistently. Most people think any background noise is fine, or even good, for their reptile. So they leave the TV blasting a crime drama in the next room, crank up music while they get ready, or let the household fill with unpredictable noise right before they go. But here is the problem. Many reptiles, particularly snakes, who detect vibration through their jawbones and body, and lizards, who use low-frequency hearing to detect approaching threats, are acutely sensitive to sudden sound and vibration. A commercial break that spikes in volume, a door slamming down the hall, a sudden burst of bass from a speaker. Any of these can trigger a startle response that cascades into hours of elevated stress. And when you are not there to provide a return to normal signal, that stress can sit. Research on acoustic stress in reptiles has shown that chronic exposure to unpredictable noise correlates with suppressed appetite, increased hiding, and reduced activity in multiple commonly kept species. Consistent, low-intensity ambient sound, on the other hand, think soft nature soundscapes, rainfall audio, or gentle instrumental music, may actually support a calmer baseline by masking unpredictable exterior noise like traffic, voices, or wildlife outside. Think of it as emotional air conditioning. You cannot silence the whole neighborhood, but you can control the sound atmosphere inside the home. What to do? 5 minutes before you leave, put on a consistent low-volume nature soundscape, rainfall, a gentle forest ambience, or a purpose-built reptile calming audio track. Set it at a steady, conversational volume and leave it running. Avoid TV with unpredictable dynamics. Avoid music with heavy bass. The goal is not silence. It is predictable, soft consistency. If you only fix one thing from today's guide, make it this. Unpredictable sound is a silent stressor most keepers never suspect, and the fix costs you nothing. When you do these 5 steps, You are doing more than preventing a stress shed or a week-long hunger strike. You are speaking a language of safety, written into your reptile's ancient biology, a biology that has barely changed in hundreds of millions of years. You are teaching their nervous system. This environment is predictable. This environment is mine. Being alone here is not danger. Being alone here is rest. And over time, that consistency builds real trust, a kind that shows up as a reptile who eats reliably, explores confidently, and tolerates handling without constant defensive behavior. If this helped you understand your reptile a little better, please like and subscribe to the Reptile Lab for more science-backed reptile behavior and welfare guides. Now tell me, which of these 5 steps are you going to try tomorrow? Comment your reptile species and your biggest takeaway below.